Approximately 20 years ago, I acquired this first collage that you see in the center here. Over the next several years, I was able to acquire 4 more. I never get tired of looking at them. They're just beautiful. I tried to locate the artist, and I found out he's a bit of a recluse. The only thing I knew about him was that he was from Woodstock, and I didn't know his name. It was... I located Robert's house on the outskirts of Woodstock, New York. Robert lives there with his dog Marlowe, and I never realized how much the Armenian genocide had influenced so much of his work. He comes from a proud heritage of Armenian immigrant parents, and he has visited Armenia himself. Come on inside. He gave us a little tour of his house, and he's going to sit with us for a few minutes. I think you're going to enjoy it.
I feel that I should say, but words can wait until some other day. Kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. Haven't felt like this, my dear, since can't remember when. It's been a long, long time. You'll never know how many dreams I dream about you, or just how empty they all seem without.
Start with Orsini again on the subway.
Orsini on the subway. So we go on the subway, and we get off at the wrong station. And where are we? Bedford-Stuyvesant. In 1966, you don't go to Bedford-Stuyvesant. It was like a third world hell. So we got back on the subway. Then I don't remember after that, but we did go to Pratt. And then we used to commute together. And we had this crazy idea that we're going to live at Grandma's apartment, which was totally off the wall. And then all of a sudden, in the second semester, Orsini decides he's not going to commute anymore. And he moves into the dormitories. And of course, I felt betrayed, because that's the way I was. I felt that the world was betraying me. And he betrayed me. And then I didn't talk to him because he was sleeping with every girl on campus in those days. And I never forget, I went up to the dorm and they wouldn't let me in because I don't know what was going on. And that's the story with Orsini. And we went through 4 years of Pratt together. And all of a sudden he became gay. Well, he always was gay, but he didn't know it. And then we graduated during that 1970 tumultuous time. You know, everybody was burning down campuses, and Pratt was a very radical place. And actually, we did burn down a building in Pratt. And we had Kunstler as our, you know who Kunstler was?
William Kunstler.
Yeah, William Kunstler was our speaker. And then that was the end of Pratt. And then I think that year Orsini went off to Greece. And one thing led to another. That's when I took. Then I got a job at Fairleigh Dickinson.
Where'd you come to Woodstock? How did you
Well,
get
first we opened a little store in New Jersey. Orsini already has a house in Jewett. That's why we came here. So we used to come to Woodstock in those days, around 1969, 1970, in the wild times in Woodstock, the Maverick, all those places. Well, there was no Maverick then, it was the Townhouse. The Townhouse is where the Italian restaurant is now. I'll never forget the night we went there. I think we met every gay man from Albany to Poughkeepsie, because there was no other place. So then we opened the store, and Orsini was selling a lot of art, and he was already a star by then. So we opened this little store mimicking friends. We opened a frame store. It's a very long story. We weren't framers. And then we started selling crafts, and then one day Orsini said, there's a store available in Woodstock. Why don't we open a store there and get rid of this one? He didn't say get rid of this one. We weren't making really any money, or I don't know. I had no money. I was living at home still. And Orsini was also living at home, I think. Or he may have taken an apartment by then in Ridgewood, New Jersey. He started working. His mother worked for a magazine. And Orsini started to do the covers for that magazine. In fact, I have some of them. And so we opened that store, and then we got wind of this other store, and we opened here in Woodstock in 1974. Out of nowhere, it was nothing. It was just like a hippie store, selling crafts and art.
It became very successful.
Well, yeah, we became successful. And I never made six figures, I'll tell you that. Yes, we were successful. I made a living. Yes, I did make a living. I used to say, if I could only make $10,000 this year, I'll be so happy. I bought this house, it was $45,000. And Moody gave me the cash. I'll never forget that. I said, no one will give me a mortgage. I didn't even credit. I had no credit card. I had nothing. I didn't even exist. So he gave me, he had cash in those days. I'll never forget. Everybody said, you can't bring $45,000 to the open to a thing like that. You can't do that. I guess I could have. So everybody said you have to go to 10 banks or 5 banks and get all these checks all under $10,000. So Orsini and I went all over the place getting these checks, and I went to the closing, and that was the end of that.
So what are you doing now? Do you do any of your artwork now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
You saw my desk.
But are you working?
Now and then.
Any exhibits coming up?
Nothing. I lost my gallery. I lost everything. I actually just sold a piece of art a couple of months ago. There's a gallery up the road that sells very expensive art. Actually, Armenian people bought it. It was very rich Armenians bought a house here. And they saw the IAN and they went to the gallery. They didn't buy it because of that. That was just an incentive. But I haven't sold anything recently.
Do you still have the passion to do stuff?
It comes and goes. You get me going. I was up there. I said, yeah, it comes and goes. What passion? I'm going to teach a course at the end of October. Somehow I have students. I don't know why.
Maybe because you're really good.
I'm not good. I am okay. People relate to my work sometimes, and they're willing to pay. Somebody pays $2,500 for one of those little things. Could you believe that? You would die.
I believe it, yes.
Yeah, but I don't. That's why every time you sell something, it feels like a miracle.
So no exhibits coming up? Nothing?
No, I have to. You get the Victoria Monroe Gallery interested or somebody. Otherwise, I'm dead in the water.
So if somebody wanted to buy something, what would they have to do?
They have to find me.
That's impossible. I couldn't find you.
They could go to Elena Zhang up the road. Tell them not to bother me. Well, they could go through you.
I'll put it in the comments in
They called you, and you could be my agent. You can make big money. Forget the honey.
Okay, the last thing you have to tell me is about Woodstock and art in Woodstock.
Well, art
What
in
goes
Woodstock-
on here?
A lot goes on to us. I mean, Woodstock's an old art colony, so, turn of the century art colony. We have Birdcliff and Woodstock School of Art. Lots of famous artists have lived here, like Philip Guston and Milton Avery and Kuniyoshi. Lots of artists lived here. Now, we could use a few galleries. Too many artists live here. We have to get rid of them. Weed them out is the word I'm looking for. Let's weed the artists out.
You're going to be in so much trouble.
I know. If you don't, you put that.
Everything. We don't cut anything.
Oh, okay.
You have no idea.
Uncensored?